How's the royal family? I pray that everyone is doing well. Well, my royal family, let's gather here because we got some stuff that we need to take care of. Cory Booker, or sometimes y'all call him Booger, he's quite angry. He's very, very angry with the royal family. And he has become totally unhinged. And we need to address this to let Cory Booker know that ADOS is real and stop playing with us. Cut the motherfucking check. We don't give a fuck about you in your feelings about dealing with Cory Truth, and you want to gloss over some bullshit. So Cory don't like being questioned now. You know, he's trying to, in his psyche, find a way to like rock us back to sleep. So I want y'all to hear this bullshit that this coon motherfucker called himself offering the royal family.
Reparations. Would you be in favor of direct monetary payments to black Americans who are descendants of slaves?
Can I tell you why I'm frustrated and disappointed by this reparation conversation? It's because it's being reduced to just a box to check on a presidential list, when this is so much more of a serious conversation. So do I support legislation that is race conscious about balancing the economic scales? Not only do I support it, but I have legislation that actually does it. In fact, I've got the only legislation, I think, in the entire Congress that Columbia University says would virtually eliminate the racial wealth gap in our country. It's something called baby bonds, which means that every child born in America would get a bond when they're birth, $2,000 placed in it, and during the time, every year of their life, depending on their family's income, they would have more money placed in it. The lowest income Americans, by the time they reach 18 years old, would have upwards of $50,000, real wealth, a stake in our economy to invest in going to school or education, starting a business, buying a home. And so the ideas I'm bringing to the table with very much conscious towards closing racial gaps is there, but let me go further than that, and this is one of the things that frustrates me about this conversation. Since slavery in this country, our nation's original sin, we have had overt policies fueled by white supremacy and racism that have been oppressing African Americans economically, but it didn't stop with slavery. Reconstruction period. It went even beyond the Reconstruction period into the Jim Crow period. Many of the best ideas we've had in America that have ushered millions of Americans into the middle class, blacks were systematically excluded, from the GI Bill to even Social Security is written to try to exclude the professions that African Americans were in. Even in my lifetime, you had redlining, you had mortgage loan problems. In fact, my family, to move into New Jersey from Washington, D.C., had to get a white family to pose as them in order to buy the house I grew up in. And so what I'm saying to you is, and my frustration is, if we don't have a way of addressing head-on in this country the persistence of racism, the persistence of white supremacy and implicit racial bias, and you know it even in the media. How do we talk about black protesters? They're thugs. You see it in our politics, Willie Horton and welfare queens, these tired tropes that still show up and then allow things to happen like mass incarceration, which has implicit racial bias in our criminal justice system that hurts blacks. So I want to make sure that we are dealing with the problem. That's why I support H.R. 40, which is a bill in the House that would bring together the best minds in America to deal with this issue. Not only trying to right economic scales from past harms, but to make sure we are a country that creates a more beloved community where all dignity and humanity is affirmed of every single person in our country.
It's a complicated question, exactly. What are reparations? And I think that's part of the conversation. So we're going to move on and get more questions in now. I'm going to go to...
All right, my royal family. So you see the title here. Cory Booker says he's frustrated and disappointed by this reparations conversation. No, see, the disappointment comes in is that he is shocked. And the frustration that comes in, we not hearing you. That bullshit that you just came up with don't make no sense. Did y'all hear that? By the time our royals turn 18, they'll have 50 grand. Cut the motherfucking check, Cory. You know? This is not going nowhere. We holding your feet to the motherfucking fire, and you keep trying to come up with some bullshit. Keep insulting the royal family psyche. We're not playing. Playtime is over with. And yeah, you would support that old 8-something-40 bill. I read it. It's bullshit. We don't need nobody to study shit for us, motherfucker. You disingenuous. You're pandering. You thought you could control us. And Esau is on your ass. Because he said, what's wrong with your people? Can you get them to stop yada-da-yada-da? Or we going to get louder. And you keep it up. You keep it up, Cory. You're going to end up where the enemy in. And we're going to re-enslave your ass. This is not a game. And you frustrated and you angry and you feel some kind of way. And then you want to talk about present day shit. Y'all, the coon cockers ain't did nothing to try to protect the royal family. Nothing. I said Obama was in office 8 years. They never met one time. They never came up with one motherfucking thing to do to make us a protective class. We're getting slaughtered in the streets of America. Somebody doing something to us as we speak. And yo, coon ass is frustrated. You don't represent us. We know what you represent. So you will endure those sins because you're all about upholding white supremacy and shucking and jiving like you've been doing. See, because the only thing at the end of the day, my royal family, it doesn't matter what party it may be. The ultimate thing is to uphold white supremacy and continue to abuse us. That's why I went spiritual on the royal family when I did that last hangout. I said, we got to look at this spiritual, the aspect of it too as well. And it's quite deep. We're going to have more conversations about it. But the cat is out the bag and they playing. And they like, what am I going to come up with? Here's a man right here. It's like, wow, I got to come up with something. I got to trick black folks some kind of way. I got to do something. No. We woke. And we woke on different levels. And this is bringing the royal family back together. Because that was the thing that they did. They never wanted us to come back together. See, we understand this. Clear. Real clear. And we're getting more clarity on it. But see, they will take the very thing that is the right thing to do and complicate it. You know, how long will you investigate? 20, 30, 40 years? Y'all keep telling us to wait? Well, there are some things that's going on in the universe as I speak that our Father going to make it very clear as you continue to uphold, as you continue to subjugate, as you continue to ridicule, continue to play with us, you will feel deeply. Her name is Karma, and she is a true bitch. Yeah, and she's swift with her stuff. Very swift. So we don't give a fuck about you and your motherfucking feelings. You got black men languishing in prison for the most mundane thing. So Cory Booker, cut the motherfucking check. So my royal family, render your voice with your beautiful divine words. And as always, my royal family, I thank you for your love. I thank you for your support. And with that said, Ashe, coon motherfucker.